All right, Mr. Arne here. I'm going to read to you How Rocket Learned to Read by Tad Hills. Such an entertaining, cute little book here. Look at that sad little puppy. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks, and he loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree, and there he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good nap. And one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha! My first student! Wonderful!" she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a... But I am your teacher," the bird interrupted. "Then you must be my student." And Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "I am so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. "Oh, yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read." "Can't read? Fantastic!" She waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to nap," Rocket said. "Oh, no, no, no. There will be no napping in class," declared the bird. "Except, of course, during nap time." "Well, then, I can take a nap over here," said Rocket. "I've had a very busy morning." "Not to worry. I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." Class starts today. As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow bird hung her banner. "Ah, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled, "where it all begins. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Anyway, here we go. Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the song of an unlucky dog named Buster who'd lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard, and at first Rocket was disturbed. But before long, he found himself captivated. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthy smells of fall. It was exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bird, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? He wondered. Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird, and more silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. What was it? But the little yellow bird was gone. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. And at last the little yellow bird arrived. "Hello! How wonderful to see you in class," she chirped. "I can tell by your waggy tail that you are well rested." "I'd like to hear the end of the story, please," said Rocket. "That seems like a very fine way to start the day," chirped the bird, and she gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Rocket. Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom, and in the morning the bird taught him a new letter, until he learned all the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. W, X, and together they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With the G and many R's, they spelled out Mr. Barker's growl. G. R. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh. And soon they were spelling words like F-A-L-L for the gusty time of year, and R-E-D, red, for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds, and about leaves changing colors, and about birds flying south for the winter. And then one day the weather turned and the letter banner disappeared. "See you again in the glorious spring," the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, "Don't forget, words are built one letter at a time." The days grew shorter and the leaves fell from the trees and the grass became crunchy, and soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet and practiced his letters. A, B, C. And Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like dig and wind and cold. And he made new friends and spelled their names. "Hello, Emma. Hi there, Fred. And he spelled everything. Sun, melt. Let's see. And when Rocket spelled mud, M-U-D, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. And the breeze blew warmer and the grass grew greener, and a sign appeared. Class starts tomorrow. And early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom, and as he waited, he spelled W-A-G, wag. Welcome back, Rocket. And soon the little yellow bird arrived. Aha, my star student, she sang. How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your wacky tail that you are ready for class. And then together, they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. And they read about Buster, the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again and again. A-G-A-I-N. The end. See you guys soon.